Happy Easter, everybody. Today's April 1st, Easter Sunday. And I thought I would do a real quick video to kind of introduce what's looking to become another project. I started this on a whim yesterday, but I think it's going to become a more formal project, so might as well do a project intro, and then I can do some other videos and back it up and kind of show you guys progress. So this is the, what I call a donkey pasture, since we typically have the donkeys in the barn over there, and typically this is where the donkeys would we'd pasture them and let them run around during the day. But as I'll show you here in a second, the conditions in the soil are just getting horrible. Just hard pan, too hard packed. You know, surface water just drains off of it. The grass wasn't growing well. The donkeys had tore it all up. So I put the donks on the big pasture way out there, and they're going to be out there probably through the whole summer and fall, I'm guessing, as I renovate this whole pasture. So the renovation, I started doing the tiller, and I tilled up that half over there yesterday. But in doing the tilling, I noticed that the soil was just so compacted clay. It just, I mean, it's tilling, but just not as deep and as well as I kind of would hope. So I tried the rotary auger attachment for the BCS tractor, which is that bad boy right there. And I tried that this morning to see if I could get down below the clay, and it was just kind of glancing off the top. I could not get that big ass blade through the clay. So I ended up taking the subsoiler attachment. And this thing is probably one of the least expensive attachments I have for this tractor, and it's probably one of the more effective. Look at that. Look at that thing. I'll remove your fat head. So that thing buries in the ground. I'll capture it on video here in a minute. But you can get, you know, relative to Hunter there, you can see how big that blade is. So that subsoiler basically sinks down into the ground. And it's a lot of work because there's a lot of resistance, and even with the weights, and it's a diesel powered tractor, it's pretty powerful, but it still takes quite a bit of effort. But each of these little lines you see in the ground is basically 18 inches deep, so it's gonna bust the clay. As you can see right there, there's a good chunk of clay. Look at that damn thing, it's ridiculous. But it's gonna bust up the clay and allow for much better soil drainage. So once I get this thing all subsoiled, I'm gonna have to go back and do that half later. Then I'll till it up again and probably add some amendments. I'm thinking about doing the cover crop of clover or something, maybe, for the next month or so. And then I'll till that in and eventually plant some kind of a pasture grass. But it's gonna be some work. It takes about a year to get the pasture completely renovated. So there won't be any donkeys on this pasture for the better part of a year. Probably a lot of chickens, but that's another story.